Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Jedi Alliance. Tonight, we're going to be talking about some celebration news, some cruise ship news, a little bit of fun if you're in the Liverpool area, as well as some of the first reactions of the first footage from The Last Jedi. So make sure to stay with us.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Jedi Alliance.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Jedi Alliance, where we celebrate the greatest saga in film and beyond. I'm one of your hosts, and it's Mark B. Donica. You can find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica, joined as always by the full squad.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the one and only Michael Youngson with me.
What's up, y'all? Y'all can find me online at OneYoungster, which is ONEYOUNGSTA.
And on the couch, the returning Alexis Torres.
Hello, it has been a while, and I am so glad to be back. You can find me all over social media at atorres890. That's ATORRES890.
That's everybody. Thank you for joining us live. If you're watching us live, remember, every Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 6, right? Yeah, no, yeah.
7.
Sorry, no, because 7 o'clock?
7.
What year is it? Sorry, because I'm doing the math of the daylight savings, and then went, oh, they just didn't do the clock back, and then they did.
7.
It really messed with me. Quick note to our engineer: if you could do me a favor, find Brianna. She has a piece of paper for me, and make sure to run that in if you would be so kind. Just remembered as we were going live, but. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. A lot of fun. So let's start. Alexis, you got a little bit about this first footage that we saw.
Okay, so if you were living under a rock, we actually got to see that some people, excuse me, were able to get some sneak peek footage because the Disney annual shareholders have that time when they show whatever's happening.
They schmoozing.
So it's a little meeting, which I would love to be a fly on the wall for that. But we get our first 3 words from Luke for our next Star Wars film.
Now, this is spoiler alert, everybody.
Spoiler alert!
Huge plot implications.
Oh my god! I don't know if you guys can handle it.
Yeah, I guess you could say, yeah. Yeah, spoiler alert, guys.
Yeah, I mean, because technically, you know.
Yeah.
But according to our reporter from the LA Times, he said that Luke asks Rey, because we're back on that mountain, just like how we ended the movie.
Octo or
Yeah.
Octo.
Yeah, I never
you
knew how to
pronounce
pronounce it.
Yeah.
So I was going to avoid it, but thank you, Mark.
I do
for
what I can.
saving me. Who are you? Is what Luke asks Rey, and pretty much she gives him the lightsaber, and we kind of get a cut off from there. And then we know for a fact that I'm trying to get the list of people because obviously we've talked about it, but we know that Carrie Fisher is going to be in this film.
Yep.
We've talked about it enough. But I love what the CEO of Disney said because a lot of people were wondering, is she going to be in it? Is she not? Carrie Fisher has been an iconic part of this franchise from the very beginning. We all miss her. She had a great talent and wit. We're proud that this movie coming up is going to be part of her legacy, even if it might be the last. So that's going to be awesome. So how do we feel? I know it's not like a lot to go off of, but
Yes.
I mean, how do we feel?
Now, I will say, because I remember Aaron Blum, or was it Aaron Blum? Yeah, he said it's not his first words to Rey per Screen Rant. Now, since I heard someone talking about the Screen Rant piece, but I'm not sure if that's super confirmed or not because I haven't fully read it, so maybe it's not. But
What's the basic potatoes of it?
the basic potatoes is just like that it's not, the reporter, I guess misquoted or whatever, or didn't represent it properly.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, all we really have to go on is someone who was there, I guess, unless, the Screen Rant article. Because I saw people on Twitter saying, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to bring it up because I've been getting such mixed reviews on it. So I don't know if it was real. So I wanted to get your guys' discussion on it because, is this something that we should be looking into? Should we not? Like, I wanted to know what you guys thought.
I think we might as... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So is the issue that people are saying that this is the first thing that he says to Rey, and then people saying no, it's not.
Like some people are saying that these are not like the first things that are coming out of Luke's mouth, and some people are like, yes, it is. So that's why I wanted to know.
It's a semantics argument because for the public, this is the first thing that he's saying to Rey.
Yeah,
that's true. In the movie, that's probably not true.
Yeah,
they've probably had a little bit of back and forth, and it may be a different sort of who are you that gets presented. Right. But ultimately, it's the fact that he says that has a lot of different implications to it.
Yep.
The fact that means that he's not familiar with her presence, both as not just a person, but the force that flows within her that she didn't know she had. But Luke, being a master, should be able to recognize the force that flows through her. That's what I think. It's sort of like a spirit type, spiritual type of thing. So that adds flame to the fire of a lot of different theories about who she is and whether they've met before. So it's all of the implications are really fun.
Yeah, and also the fact that, since we don't know how he says, "Who are you?" but it's good for me because I still think she's a Kenobi. So it's good for me. I'm like,
here.
yes. I'm like, yes. Ooh, yeah. My theory's still running.
Yeah.
But I
Or
think
that she's Snoke. Sorry, I interrupted you. Sorry, go ahead.
Ooh, yes.
I mean, there's so
Don't listen to me.
I just love that there's so many different theories, but I know that the main one is the fact that she's a Kenobi, so that's just like...
And this actually is a big thing because it kind of at least throws people off the whole Luke train.
Yes.
And they can get more focused on, okay, let's focus on the movie and stop focusing on who are Rey's parents. Because I think because we had, Empire Strikes Back, everybody is waiting for this big parent thing, even though they did set it up, but everybody's waiting to figure out this big parent thing instead of just enjoying the film. It's kind of like it's almost kind of like with M. Night movies where you're like trying to watch for the twist instead of just enjoying the movie. So hopefully this will help, put out some fires and hopefully allow people to just go into the movie and watch it instead of waiting for who's Rey's parents.
And it could also be a red herring. Because we had the Maz Kanata line, "Who are you?" as I think the chat mentioned as well.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say next.
In The Force Awakens, and it was never in the movie.
Yeah, so I mean, you never know. I mean, like I said, it's still pretty early. So it could just be stuff that could end up being on the cutting room floor and we'll never see again. It might have just been something that they already have, that's already edited and put the sound and and things like that. But I love what Chris said, where he said, given Empire's End, could Rey be one of, I always have a hard time pronouncing his name, Gallius, wild children on Jakku that didn't quite go straight murder? Machine?
See, now that's talking about something that we're not familiar with because we're not totally caught up on Empire's End. And we're going to more on that later in the show. Yes. But interesting theory. I hope to learn more about it.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett in the chat says he might also be asking her, who are you, internally, and, who are you, I don't know you.
Yeah. I figure it's more once they get to know each other a little bit more.
Who are you?
It's just like, who are you?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very nice. I see you coming through with your mod skills.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm all about it. Anything else we want to talk about this before we get more information later on? Or
no, I just wanted to know because I know there's just so many different articles and a bunch of people have been like, this has been debunked, which we did in the chat. A lot of people did say that, and some people were like, no, this is true. And so
because I've been seeing you on Twitter, like you said, a lot of people are like, yes, it is, no, it isn't. Similar to kind of like AP5 and Chopper this weekend. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. So
they're a fun, wacky couple.
Yes.
Of droids.
Of a couple of droids. No, I think I'm just very intrigued to see, as obviously the movie gets closer, what other articles will be coming out about Luke specifically, and I thought that was very interesting that we already had his first words come out.
Yo, Disney, give us that trailer.
We're not going to get anything until Celebration.
Yeah,
I know, but still,
it's going to be the same thing as last year.
Yeah.
Disney, use your power to fast forward us to Celebration.
I'm as excited as I am to go to Celebration. I don't know what the line situations are going to be yet, so I don't know when we're going to have to get in line to do stuff. Got to get into that Last Jedi panel. Got to get into that Han Solo panel. Hopefully they have extra places to view it, but we're going to talk about that later in the show.
Yes.
The next thing that I wanted to talk about is I've felt really bad since we've changed our time slots that we've sort of been isolating one of our fan groups in the UK because it's super late over there. It's 8 hours from now, which I think is 3 in the morning, if I'm doing that correct.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I can't do math.
We're beyond sorry about that. That was Canadian, not British. But I wanted to this is sort of a fun story. It's not really anything related directly to the canon. But if you're in the Liverpool area, there is going to be an event on May 5th, which is the day after May the 4th.
Yes.
They're calling it the Revenge of the 5th. For those of you that enjoy the adult blue milk, there's going to be a pub crawl on the 5th. It's going to be put on by a group named Yellow Elephant Promotions. They also did a really successful Harry Potter pub crawl. It's only £5 to get into it, which is nothing.
Yeah, that's really good.
But you get special access at the pubs that have yet to be announced. But you get a wristband, a promotional drink, Star Wars themed cocktails and shots, prizes for best dress. So there's a little bit of a cosplay competition, a professional photographer, and an official host. And there's going to be plenty of games and fun along the way. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up, sure, that sounds like a lot of fun, and heck, I would want to be there too.
Definitely.
But if they're shooting in Pinewood, that's not too far away from Liverpool. Who knows? Maybe you might have
somebody special might show up.
You never. And this isn't a promise. This isn't an inside tip or anything. I just think it sounds like something that could be fun for somebody to. If any of the cast and crew are watching out there, like Michael K. Williams, that was confirmed for the Han Solo movie. If any of the cast and crew are out there and want to help make some Star Wars fans' life special, May the 5th. Head on down to this pub crawl and see what happens.
Matriculate with the fans.
Yeah,
Yes.
and if anybody ends up going, please document it, take pictures, take videos, send it in. We'll feature it on the show because it sounds like a heck of a time. And also, watch your language because it's a family show.
Please.
Which is why we're promoting alcoholism, but safely.
Drink
Safe
responsibly.
alcoholism, but just safe.
It's responsibly because it's in a group and you have to qualify in order to do it. And you have to be old enough to drink in order to do it.
But is it?
Drink responsibly.
Wait, is it the age for people in the UK?
I mean, regardless, just
Well,
drink
yeah, that makes
responsibly.
sense.
It'll be safe for them, so they'll be good.
Sorry, my head was going, oh my god, you have to be 21 to drink. I'm like, wait, we're in the UK. Never mind.
It may be different. I don't recall. But regardless, drink responsibly.
Yes.
No matter what country you might be in.
It sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like a swimming time, if you would.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna hit you. Instead of if I had one, I would hit you with my lightsaber. But before we get to that, one of my favorite things about going to pubs is the food. And speaking of food, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsor of today's episode, Blue Apron. Not all ingredients are created equal, and Blue Apron is a wonderful food-to-door service that we're going to offer you a special deal with. It is the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country, and its mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone. It helps for people who don't necessarily know how to cook. It helps build those skills because they have very easy to follow directions on big, thick cardboard, essentially placards, so you can save recipes for later. Seafood is sourced sustainably under standards developed in partnership with the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch. Beef, chicken, and pork come from responsibly raised animals, and the produce is sourced with farms that practice regenerative farming, so you're not harming the earth.
That's right.
It's all stuff that is on the up and up. If I personally, I think everybody can speak to this. We work pretty heavy 9-to-5 jobs where sometimes it's like, I got to beat traffic. I got to know where I'm going, and you don't eat as well as you can.
Nope.
True.
A lot of fast food. So with this, it's less than $10 per person per meal. It's well worth it, and you get some sweet recipes like right now. Some upcoming meals that they're featuring are spicy shrimp coconut curry with cabbage and rice, vegetable chili and baked sweet potatoes with crispy tortilla strips, pork chops and miso butter with bok choy and marinated apple, salmon piccata with orzo and broccoli.
I'm so hungry.
I almost said broccoli, but I didn't.
I'm so proud of you.
It's like the fancy version.
Yeah. Blue Apron has been a sponsor of the show several times before, and I gotta say, it is so worth your time and money and effort. But for your first try, it doesn't need to be worth the money, because we're gonna give you some free meals for free. We're gonna give you We're gonna give you some free meals for free. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping. You ain't paying for nothing.
big zero that you have to put out there just to get that good meal.
You don't have to pay that money.
Hold up, here it goes.
So go to blueapron.com/Jedi. That's blueapron.com/Jedi to get your first 3 meals for free. It all gets shipped in this sweet box with like a big ice pack. So everything is kept fresh. You make it to your doorstep just in time. Maybe a little soggy, but that's because it's ice. And ice melts.
And not
Science.
Jetty. Not Jetty.
Not Jedi.
No.
Jedi.
Yes.
So that's again blueapron.com/Jedi. You will love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home cooked meals with Blue Apron. So don't wait. That's blueapron.com/Jedi.
Sorry, because there's lag in the chat. I just saw our money shot, and it has all and it has all three. It has all 3 of us in
the shot.
And so all of us did this. It was really funny
Because we had to go up for it.
You gotta take it. You can't be like, money. No, you gotta be like,
Money.
That's
It
right.
was just
Money.
great. It was just beautiful. Also, Aaron Blum in the chat was like, Misa butter. And I was like, stop
Miso
it.
butter, I like
Stop it.
Blue
that's
Apron
right.
Harvest.
Yeah, that was
That's a
great.
good one.
It's a good
We'll
Puns,
say it again.
everyone.
The ad read is over, but I would like to say, hey, get some of them Star Wars themed meals.
Yes,
For when Last
please.
Jedi comes out.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll do a cooking episode and we'll cook 'em.
that's
So
Yo,
down
that would be
for
dope.
this.
You know, look, Blue
Yes.
Apron, get up
I
on
love
that.
to cook it. I would love to do a
Get
theme.
up onto that
Star Wars.
apron.
Get them Star Wars meals.
No, for real. It is.
Do
the
that. Why do I have to bring you down here to tell you these things? Just make Star Wars meals.
We appreciate it.
We'll eat them.
No, for real. I mean, I'd eat them either way, but still.
And for the last time, that's blueapron.com/Jedi for 3 free meals. I highly recommend it. It's free. You have nothing to lose. Go do it. Michael, what did you want to bring up today?
Well, I was perusing the internet.
Were you?
And yes, I was. I was just clicking and scrolling away. And on Star Wars, StarWars.com, they have 5 things about 5 things you might not know about lightsabers. And a lot of times, we're a show in a community where, people are at different levels. And some people might not check out animated series.
Right.
Some people might not check out books and stuff. So I figured I'd bring this up because there's a lot of stuff in here that references the Clone Wars animated series, and I still know there's fans that don't really or never have watched that show, or at least not in its entirety. And a lot of these come from the episode when all of the children are kind of learning how to build their own lightsabers and getting their kyber crystals for the first time. So I thought this would be good to bring up.
Bring it on.
So number 1 is that the whole lightsaber, the issue of getting one is a rite of passage. It talks about how, there's a Jedi path and how the kids in the gathering had to actually go out to this cave, and there was like this big trial that they had to find their crystal. Like their crystal, is special, specific to them and their energy and their aura. So this isn't just something that you just grab up and get.
Yeah.
You actually, it's like a coming of age thing. It's like, okay, you've been like, the little younglings that were like playing with the little orbs with like Yoda, and now you get to go out and kind of like find your own, like start to forge your own path.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
It's one of the things about the original Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars that I miss is Anakin's trial for like finding out how he found his kyber crystal,
Right.
etc. Was so visually interesting and a different type of storytelling than we were used to with Star Wars. And also, speaking of Clone Wars series, it was what we thought for Netflix, where it was just renewing the contract because all of the entire series is still on Clone Wars, or is still on Netflix for Clone Wars.
Yeah, because I'm rewatching it right now, and I was like, oh man, I only have until the 7th to get through all these seasons. And then obviously it was back, so I was like, okay, now I can take my time.
Yes.
Because I just hit season 3, so
okay.
I'm starting from all the way back then.
So you
Heck
got
yeah.
a ways to go.
Yeah, it's
So-
fine. It's totally good.
And you'll be coming up on these episodes, which is good too.
Yeah, and that's the whole point, is that I feel like because I watched it such a long time ago, I'm like, this is the time for me to
Yeah,
kind
get
of
a
do
little
that.
refresh.
Yeah, because most of the time, if I'm not here working, I'm usually at home cooking or cleaning, and I'm like, I need something in the background, and then sometimes I catch myself.
Cooking with Blue Apron.
No, like
That's
for real.
blueapron.com
Actually,
slash Jedi.
that happens
That's
to me
right.
all the time, where I'm cooking Blue Apron, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch some Star Wars a little bit.
It's a match made in heaven.
Just a
Get
little
on them
piece.
Star Wars meals.
No, like seriously, it would be the best.
Yeah, and then number 2, they have the Crystal's Call, which talks how like they had to listen for the crystal to actually call to them because there's like thousands of crystals in the cave or the cavern that they go into, but each one has a specific kind of like energy that kind of like reaches out to them, and they can't just run up and say, "Oh, well, I want this one because it's easy." You know,
Right. Well, no, because I was gonna ask about that because I'm like, I don't know if is it better for you to pick your own or is it better for it to choose you?
It's a wand chooses the wizard. Sort of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
know like some people will be like, but I want to get a black lightsaber, like you know.
like
Or an
sorry, kid.
orange one,
Yeah.
or like some of the rarer colors. Like that's
Yeah.
the thing is, I'm still sad that we haven't gotten, aside from Mace Windu, we haven't gotten a main series character that's gotten a rare crystal.
Right.
You know, it's still like you're the chosen one, but you get this basic. You get the
Yeah.
basic
You get
crystal.
the regular color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even when Luke made his own, it's like, and we got green.
Yay!
And we're even going to
Green.
get into that in number 5, which is cool. But number 3, it talks about like the long history, how, you know, they've been taught about this path and how lightsabers are built for years and years.
Right.
And it goes into, once again, the design of Kylo Ren's crossguard saber in The Force Awakens is one from long ago when Kanan, Ezra, and Ahsoka visited Malachor in season 2. They found, Ezra found a crossguard saber on the ground. So it's like, this is a lot of stuff that if you don't watch Rebels or if you haven't watched all of it or something like that, it's kind of cool to bring this back around and be like, oh, cool, or I missed that. Like, what episode is that? And
Well, the
stuff
thing
like
about
that.
Rebels is as you mentioned in Rebels trailers, they sort of blow things up to make them
Yeah.
look bigger than they are. And that moment
True.
was literally Ezra going, "Huh," and then that was it.
Yeah, it was.
He just
It
powered it
was.
on, and that was it.
Yeah, he did power it on, and I was like, "Oh, this okay, this is interesting." But then it was kind of like discarded. It was kind of like forgotten. Yeah,
Then
it was
like-
kind of forgotten about. Yeah, and they didn't really regard it anymore.
Wow, that's old. Thanks, Ezra.
Thanks, Ezra.
Anyway,
Poor Ezra, man. It's tough. It's the character he is.
yeah.
But number 4 talks about suitable hilts and how everyone has to kind of like forge their own hilt, something that works well for them. And the cool thing that I loved about this is that Gunji, the Wookiee, made his lightsaber from the wood of a Brylark tree. And I just thought that was cool because, you know, there's some hilts that are made out of crystals. There's some that are just like straight up metal, the regular, or specific metals and things like that. But I thought the wooden one was unique. You know, I thought it was really cool. It helped kind of like tie the Force back to the natural thing. And I really would like to see another Wookiee that was a Jedi because just their brute strength already, plus, you know, the lightsaber and the Force skills, lightsaber, but the lightsaber and Force skills, he or she could be a monster.
Yeah.
Like, a monster in not Darth Maul way, a monster in just like, yo, this person is very hard to beat.
Yeah. Everyone in the chat has been super excited about whatever I just missed it. Where was it in the chat? Yeah, we were talking about Maul just a few minutes ago.
Well, they're talking about
Kenobi?
They're talking
Yeah.
about the next week starts the
Yes.
2-week finale
Yes.
of Rebels.
Yeah, so I was
And if
like,
you want to find out more about Rebels, make sure to tune in AfterBuzz TV's Star Wars Rebels After Show, which starts right after this on AfterBuzz TV. Are you going to be on this week?
No, I won't be on this week.
Okay, but still,
it's still dope.
We
You should check it out.
got some friends on that show. Emma Fife.
Oh yeah, go in there,
also say
watch
happy
the show,
birthday
and
to
say
her.
happy birthday to Emma Fife.
Yes.
It's her birthday. You know,
It's the Emma block
great.
because she's doing that, and then she's
Bob's
doing
Burgers
Bob's
with
with
me.
you.
Yeah.
But I think more Jedi need to have weapons that are appropriate to their
And
upbringing,
unique, yeah.
and their background. And a Wookiee with a wooden hilt makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to everybody's again, it's all in the main movies where the first real unique lightsaber that we saw of color was Mace Windu, and then of hilt design has been Kylo Ren.
Right.
So let's get
And kind of Dooku's with the
Yeah, I
'cause
take it
Dooku
back.
and
I take it back.
Not Ahsoka, but Ventress had kind of like the curved, kind of like a gun sort of, but curvy.
It held
handle.
more like and I totally blanked on that, and of course Darth Maul. But
yeah,
I
yeah.
think if there was a one-sided blade with a longer blade and a longer hilt, that was sort of like a claymore. Like let's get more varieties
and maybe
of lightsaber.
maybe like the actual light could be like thicker or wider. Or something. That could be sweet.
Something.
Well, the one thing I mean, I know that you haven't gotten through your list yet. I was going to wait till you were done.
Oh, I only got one more, so it's
yeah,
cool.
go for it. Go.
All right, well, number 5 talks about the color changes, where in, Clone Wars, all of the crystals are straight clear when they first get them, and then due to your aura, your force ability, your kind of like attitude and the way you fight, it starts to change to kind of like suit you. And there is, in this article, it relates to something that happens in the Ahsoka book, but if you haven't read Ahsoka, it might be sort of a spoiler, so I'm not going to say.
I'm getting there.
That's why I'm not going to say that part. But different crystals, their color changes depending on whether you're a light side user or a dark side user, and what might happen if it changes hands between two people as well.
Right.
So if you haven't been up on those animated series, go on and peruse them a little bit. Check out a couple of episodes, see if you like it. Because I know there's some that are just like, it's animated. I just stick to the movies.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. But yeah, my question after seeing that you were going to talk about this topic was, I know that we've probably talked about it on older episodes of Jedi Alliance at one point, but like, what is a lightsaber that you guys would love to make that we maybe haven't seen yet, or maybe something you want to base it off of a design?
I would say what I said previously, more of a claymore, more of like a big, because I had a friend of mine give me a prop for a Renaissance fair. If anybody makes fun of me for that, remember we're on a Star Wars podcast right now. That was a big two-handed claymore with a big hilt and a wide guard, and that's always sort of been like the Buster Sword-esque type of thing, where it's just larger blade, maybe a two-handed thing. Also, For Honor just came out, and they've got a lot of that with the Knights, which is
like
insane.
like a cloud kind of sword, but with a lightsaber though.
That
could be even crazier.
But I would say a little bit more along the lines of
that would be even crazier.
That would be insane. Might as well just do Inuyasha and have the huge, like.
I want a Sephiroth style with a 27-foot.
Yes.
No, but I mean something more along the Scottish tradition of a claymore.
No, that makes sense.
What about? I mean, I don't know if I'm trying to remember. Besides like beasts and monsters, but are there any like giants that are canon in Star Wars? And if there were, would their lightsabers not be larger?
No, but that's one of the things that I liked about the what was it called? The Red Letter Media reviews.
Oh, okay.
Is when they talked about the Yoda fight, they're like, he has a Yoda-sized lightsaber, which means in order to compensate for his size, he has to jump around and flip around.
Yeah.
And be more creative, like when he would throw it through a clone trooper and then force it back.
That was so sweet.
Yeah, but at the same
there's
time,
sweet stuff in man. That
but
was
at the same time, that shows the why do we have to be tied to just a sword when it seems like different species need to play to the strength, utilize the strengths, because we also have the Kaminoans have the long necks. There was that dude on the council that had the super long neck. I'd go right after what's the biggest target on him.
Yeah.
I'd go right after I think there needs to be, and we've seen it in the comics that are legends now, and some of the older stories that are legends now, but like flails or this or that, where it was people are actually, they're using the energy in a different way.
Yeah.
That I think Kylo's sword was the beginning of, hey, look, things can be different. So maybe down the road, a couple
or
of movies,
even like attacks can be different.
Yeah. Something, and we get a little bit more of an accentuation of the different styles. So we need a little more of that shakeup.
Well, yeah, that's why I wanted to know what your guys' like dream saber, like lightsaber, would be. You know what I mean?
Mine would probably be. I'd probably say more of like, what is it? The long swords. But they're like the Japanese long swords. It's like a longer version of the katana.
Right.
But it's like it's slightly curved, but not as curved as like the shorter
my sensei
blades.
would be so mad that I don't know this right now.
And it has like the longer hilt as well. And
But I know what you're talking
also,
about.
I would use that And the way I would come on the scene for any fight would be similar to Doctor Doom and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for all my gamers out there. I would just like float onto the scene with, I would like descend on you with like mad rocks like swirling around me and like use them to attack you. Because I mean, it's, telekinesis. So it's like I could always have like a perfect defense at all times.
Daito?
Nodachi?
I said Daito, which is usually a little bit. The hilt is definitely longer on that.
So I'm going off of chat a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going off of just different stuff that I'm researching.
But yeah, whatever the proper term for that is, because I've always seen it in all of like the old, like old martial arts films and stuff, but I just don't know the name of it. But something like that where you have like the, the two-handed, like very, very strong, and or maybe something like extremely out of this world, like Afro Samurai's blade.
But then people would come after you for that headband.
Yeah, they would though.
Really quickly, while you're researching what that sword is, we've gotten some good stuff in the chat. Sluice Friggins commented, "Lol, Uriel Poof, the giraffe-necked Jedi." Of whom I was referring. Kevin Masterson, there was a Sith who used a lightsaber like a whip. That is exactly what I was thinking of, but I forgot.
That was gonna be mine.
I forgot her name though.
Yeah.
And then Andre Nichols, after my own heart. I'd want one similar to the Death Scythe Gundam.
Whoa!
That's my boy. So it was essentially
God.
a giant laser scythe.
Yes.
That could be.
And dude, especially after like Death Scythe and Soul Eater and Ruby, Scythes have been coming back in as a regular weapon in a big way.
I would love. That. I'm so glad you said that.
That could be
I'm looking
That
crazy.
shout out to Andre Nichols.
Yeah, no,
That
for
could
real,
be
that was
crazy.
amazing.
And last one that just came.
Go,
Sorry,
go,
Corey
go.
Donaldson that said a lightsaber batleth. For my Star Trek fans out there, that's the Klingon weapon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
what?
That would be insane. That would be insane.
I'll take it.
And it could kind of work because they already have like a similar.
please.
They already have like a similar thing with the what was the Imperial and Force Awakens that had kind of like
The shock baton.
the shock baton.
Just
Oh my
like
God.
double
you kind
side
of modify
that.
it and you just put handles on the back, and then of course, but since even though it's Star Wars, put the Star Trek music like. Dun, 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 dun. Like, it's like I love you, Star Trek, but oh man, the music.
Oh, that's great. At least from what I looked up, the Nagamaki is the one that's a traditional Japanese sword with an extra long handle. That's all I've found so far.
So yeah,
I could be wrong.
that'll work. Yeah.
Somebody say Zanpakuto. Like that would be kind of cool.
That was what I was considering when we were talking about the crystals, like the legit crystals. When it would choose them, and you would have to find the personality of that, whether it's through the Force or like an actual manifestation of a personality.
Yeah.
I'd go back to Zanpakuto as well.
For me, for my dream lightsaber, since like I said, I was a bow staff, so Darth Maul's makes sense. But I'm also a dual wielder, so I would like one where I can dual wield and then attach it. And then be able to use it as a staff and then break it apart. So I'm more like a Nightwing kind of person where he attaches his batons together and then makes it into a bow staff and then separates them and makes them electric. Like that is something that I would love. But I'm also a big Ivy fan from Soul Calibur. So I would love if I had a lightsaber and then it would change.
Cool.
And then
you
in
could
between,
just snap it solid
Yeah.
and then.
so then in between would be the energy in between, so I can separate it and it can like fly off and go like mini daggers also. I put a lot of thought into this, guys.
That could be super cool.
Naturally.
Yeah, so
let's just hope they wouldn't make you wear the outfit too. But
yeah, I don't think I would look that good in that outfit. Let's just be honest. I'm curvy. It's just gonna be.
It's about
Out.
comfort. It's about comfort.
I mean, that's also true, but I would try to rock it though.
So let us know what your dream lightsaber is down below or on Twitter using at Jedi Alliance Pod, which is us on Twitter.
Yes.
Let's go on to Alexis, talking a little bit about Celebration.
Guys, the autograph hall is full with people, and I'm so excited for you, but I'm not going to be able to go. So if you haven't heard, it's okay. That, and also because I love that you can also pre-order these depending on who you're looking for.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah, because there's no way. But if you are going to Celebration, or if you're not, if you check out the Star Wars Celebration website at StarWarsCelebration.com, if you go to the autograph hall, which shows you all the guests that you can get autographs from, The lineup is insane. So I'm just gonna go through a few of them because I can't list all of them because we don't have enough time. But we have the last few people that came in, which is Alan Tudyk. We had Felicity Jones, Taylor Gray, who plays Ezra. We have Paul Blake, who plays Greedo. We have Peter Mayhew, of course. Ian McDermott. Thank you. Deep Roy, which he's been in a lot.
Deep Roy does a lot of body work.
Thank
he played all of the Oompa Loompas in the Tim Burton.
Yeah, he's done so much. Billy D. Williams was the last person that we got the update for.
What happened here?
Yes,
right? Billy D.
Yeah, we have Jimmy V, who's going to be playing R2-D2 in The Last Jedi. Matthew Wood, Ray Park, obviously.
Ray Park is an awesome one to meet.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would love to meet him. And then there's a bunch of puppeteers that were going to be there as well. David Barclay, Brian Herring, who's also been on pretty much most of the movies, not all of them. I know Brian Herring was in Force Awakens, and David was in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And Agnes, who plays the Dutch Vader in Star Wars: A New Hope. So it's very interesting. So there's a lot of people that are going to be there, and apparently the list could grow from now because we do have a lot of time. But as of right now, if you go check out that list again on StarWarsCelebration.com under guests, you will see all the autographs, and most of them will say, would you like to pre-order your autographs now? So you can click on that, find out where your autographs come from, and order them there.
You can get an autograph or a picture, or an autograph and a picture.
Yeah, and usually those are pretty expensive.
They're pricey. Felicity, as of last time I checked, is the most expensive right now.
I'm actually looking right now. It looks like
Peter Mayhew is expensive but reasonable.
Yes.
And that's one of the few where I'm like, I really think I should.
Yeah, right? It looks like the pre-sale...
And then there's probably going to be like some surprises in there too.
But it's still nice to pre-order because instead of showing up and going, oh, I had this $80 for a figure, now I'm using it for a picture.
Yeah.
You can use it now and then go back to saving for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, because
like I'm doing.
No, I think it's great because for people who don't know how much it is, as Mark said, for a Felicity Jones Celebration autograph and picture, it looks like it's $450.
It's a lot of money.
For just a photo op. It's $250, and then if you want a Felicity Jones and an Alan Tudyk Celebration picture and autograph, it's $300, which is actually not that bad.
That's okay.
Yeah, because you get two of them. So
yeah, it's
my heart hurts.
Time, it's like at the same time, you know when you're going to this. You know
everybody
you're spending
knows that.
money.
Yeah, I mean,
like you know you're going to be spending money, but then you think you're like, man.
Yeah.
Spend it before on the top end.
I mean, for Billy D. Williams, for an autograph and a picture or photo op, you get $130. For just an autograph, it's $60. For just a photo op, it's $70. Like, it definitely ranges depending on what you're going for. I love that Daniel Logan's going to be there. So that's awesome. But I love it's his picture as a kid. And I'm like, that's weird. But, I get it, you know?
Bro's grown up since then.
No, I know. And that's why it's really funny because I just finished season 2, so I got to see a lot of Boba in that season. So I was like,
young Boba.
Yeah.
Oh, young Boba and your pouty face.
And we do have to sort of blow through these last couple of stories, but
it.
before we get off of Celebration, it was announced this week also that it's not going to be returning next year, but it's going to be coming back in 2019. Much like the schedule of D23, which isn't every year, but every 2 years, and there's D23 this year as well.
Yes.
There's some speculation as to why. You had a theory. I have a theory. Let's talk about them real quick.
Okay, well, mine is I wonder if they're trying to line it up with D23, like have D23 and Celebration in the same year. I guess just to maximize the coverage, but I'm not sure if it matters if they need to line those up.
From a production standpoint, having
I guess so.
Having less a year means less prep. Your stars don't have to be in this place,
True.
So you don't have to fly them out while they're under contract or whatever. Because some people are still shooting right now, so that takes away from shooting as well. And putting on a convention isn't easy, and
no, it's not.
It's expensive. It's difficult. There's a lot of planning. What I think instead of lining them up is that they're going to merge them.
Ooh.
So it's going to be a super convention that is both D23 and Star Wars Celebration.
Oh my God.
Celebration 23, something of that nature.
I wonder.
And instead of
crap.
having it, while as great as Anaheim is, and it's a wonderful place for D23, they just started using all of the space at this last convention.
Yeah.
If they move it to the Los Angeles Convention Center, there's 2 pavilions. They could have a Star Wars pavilion, and then so that they can literally have them both under one roof, but still split. So you can go to the Star Wars area that has all of the regular Star Wars stuff that you expect from Celebration, and then all the D23 stuff in the other place
Oh
that
my
you would
god,
expect at
no
D23.
one should ever travel
I
to
don't
LA
know-
during that
I
time.
don't-
Or like if
I
you're
don't
not
know
going
if
to these
that's-
cons.
Man,
That
I
is
mean,
insane.
Can you understand what the metro would be like?
No, you would have to get a hotel there and you would have to walk. Like there's no way.
Like
Because I live kind of close to the metro, but I don't even know
No.
if you could get D23 and Star Wars Celebration.
But
I
as
mean,
one
it
ticket-
makes sense for them.
But no, that's perfect.
one
for
ticket. It's one. Instead of playing 2 different things, it's one event. There's more tickets per door. If it's both things, you can raise the price of the tickets, and that's ultimately more money in Disney's pockets.
Sweet. Oh my god, that ticket is going to be so expensive.
Oh, that's yeah. It's
Oh my-
you ain't lying
oh
with
my-
that money.
And the one thing that it would do negatively is Celebration has a history of traveling.
Yes, that's what I was
like
gonna
it was
say.
in London in 2015 before it came stateside, and I even think it's been in Australia before, and I think that's an amazing tradition, and I want them to continue that. But
Yeah.
I would figure if that was the case, then we would get Celebration next year, and then the year after that we would get D23,
I see.
and then Celebration, and then
Okay.
D23, and it would still be an every 2-year thing, but it would be the convention of the year instead of having both at the same time. But the fact that they're having them at the same time makes me think that they're going to merge them.
Yeah, because I mean, that would be hard because I mean, obviously, that means you would have to decide, like, okay, I'll go to Celebration this year, and then the following year I'll go to D23. So that
Yeah.
would make sense. I definitely thought it was just because of filming schedules now that we're starting to film Star Wars movies again, that
Yeah.
they're probably like, let's just skip.
And-
Like every other year to make sure everyone has time so that they're not like,
Yeah.
we're filming and now you have to go to a con. And we're filming. You gotta do a
because
con
putting
again.
on a con is a production in itself. Like it's almost like trying to, not trying to put on a movie, I guess, but there's a lot of planning. I mean, just from someone who's been involved in planning a con on the lighter level, just figuring out parking, overflow parking, and stuff like that is like, wow, this is way more complicated than I thought it should be. But you start to get in, different buildings, and this is my parking space, and this is my parking complex, and like the city tells, and it's so.
Oh my
That's
God.
another thing that is probably better for them to be like, hey, every other year, then we don't have to try to worry about this and a movie and an animated series.
And having-
Yeah,
you know,
like it's a lot, you know?
And having it at Anaheim is a boon for Disney parks and hotels in the area.
Oh, that takes away my theory.
But also not having Celebration next year means that we avoid Star Wars Land for a little bit, which could also
okay.
be, if they do put it back in Anaheim, that means that they're keeping the con crowd away from the parks during a heavy peak period.
Dear God. Sorry, just thinking about Celebration, D23, and Disneyland all in the same area, that would be, especially when Star Wars Land is out, that would be just mass hysteria.
if I was gonna plan to go to that, I wouldn't travel back and forth. I would literally, like, the day before, get like, I don't know, or maybe even 3 days before, just get like a friend or get a hotel room down there and just stay.
Yeah,
like,
there's no point in you traveling back and forth.
Don't try.
And then you have to wait till everything's over, and then you can go back home.
Yeah, because
think about it. If
even
people,
for WonderCon, it's tough.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, sometimes, like, I'll get there like the day before, like even the Thursday previews and stuff like that, just to make sure I have a place and just hang out there. And then I wait till like Monday to leave sometimes because Sunday traffic coming back up into the valley is atrocious.
Like Comic-Con Sunday night.
Yeah.
Like a couple years ago, I stayed and came back on Monday afternoon or Monday morning.
Yeah.
And Sunday night in San Diego after Comic-Con is nothing. It's chilling the difference between even Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. Regardless, we're getting a little bit off track.
Yeah, sorry.
We're not saying that we want them to merge.
No.
And I really don't like the Los Angeles Convention Center.
No, I do not.
I think it's terribly planned
Yeah.
and terribly built. But go ahead.
I was actually about to say this, but I didn't know if we were gonna have time because you do suck. That's interesting. It says put it in Vegas because I was thinking in Vegas because there's so much on the Strip.
But there's also the Vegas convention stuff. There's so much room.
Yeah.
But
So,
there's a lot of issues that would come up with fans if they did merge and keep it with D23, which has a tradition of
Because
staying in
D23
America.
already has so much already.
Yeah.
Like just under Marvel itself, we haven't even gotten to Pixar and then normal Disney stuff.
Yeah.
They do have a on off years of American D23, they have D23 in Japan.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they're not against the brand branching out.
Yeah.
So that's just because it merges doesn't mean that it stays in America. Regardless, let us know what you think down below in the comment section if you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're listening to us on iTunes, make sure to find us on Twitter at Jedi Alliance Pod.
Yep.
We're going to skip my second story because it's not that big. Star Wars is permanently coming to the Disney Cruise Line fantasy ship.
That's going to be awesome.
That's pretty much it. And it's just for kids, so that's lame anyway. But if you're going to be...
I'll go as a chaperone.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me try this ride first, Sonny.
Yeah.
I've got this.
So if you're going to be traveling on the Disney Fantasy, which is its birth is in Florida,
Yeah.
so check out, see if you can find it. It's the newest ship in the fleet. Check it out. That's all it is for there.
looks
Michael, really quick before we go, what was the last thing you want to talk about?
To you guys and you wonderful people at home or mobile or whatever, I want to kind of know what you're reading now. Like as far as Star Wars is concerned, I'm reading Tarkin. I'm having a ball in it. I'm about 4 hours in. Well, I'm listening to Tarkin. I'm not reading
Nice.
Tarkin. But I'm sorry, all the music and sound effects are so cool. So I'm about 4 hours in. I'm loving Tarkin. I'm loving it's just the novels do the government stuff so well. And it makes it kind of grounds it in like, yo, this stuff is happening to real regular people. Like everyday people that just go to work and come home, this stuff is happening to them too. So I'm really loving Tarkin. Next up, I'll probably do Lost Stars or something like that. But
Gotta do it.
But Mr. Donica, what are
Sir.
you reading right now?
So right now I'm prepping for 2 possible trips in April, and trying to get as much work done before that time so that I'm making a little bit of extra scratch on the side in order to eat and exist in those places.
Yes.
So I have Life Debt. I had started it when it first came out, but I'm probably going to restart it. I was about 4 or 5 chapters in, so I definitely want to finish that so I can get to Empire's End, because everybody said that both of those books were really good. But I also have Ahsoka, which I know is a little bit of a lighter read. So I want to get to both of those, and I need to pick up new trades of the Star Wars Marvel comics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even go back in time and do some Legends stuff. But I too much good stuff is out right now, and they're releasing books at a pace with which a life in a studio such as ours doesn't necessarily
tough.
allow it.
Yeah.
And I used to have a drive that was about an hour and a half both ways, and it was almost like, okay, I'm gonna start doing audiobooks now, and then that got taken away, but that's just fine. So I'm figuring out new stuff to read, because reading is fundamental.
That's right.
How about you,
Putting
Alexis?
the fun in fundamental.
Ow.
Was it that painful, really?
Mark knows, because we've been friends for a very long time.
They're
Puns
pretty
is
bad.
not my favorite.
Oh,
thing.
puns are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, puns are great for some, not for me, which sucks because my fiance is the pun king. He likes to, according to him, he likes to punish people with his puns. God, it hurts. As a person who is working 2 to almost 3 jobs during the week and also planning a wedding, reading has not been on my list of things, and I apologize for that, but I am open, and I do have a list of things that I am trying to get done, because I do have to travel for bachelor party, wedding stuff, and things like that, and the honeymoon, so I will definitely be bringing all of my reading material. I did buy, not version 1, but comic 1 and 2 of Princess Leia, so I am going to start reading those as well. I think I read through 1, and I want to continue with that because it's so good. But all the Marvel comics are really awesome from the Star Wars series, so I definitely want to start reading those. I did get Lost Stars, I just haven't cracked it open yet, and definitely the Ahsoka book.
Because a lot of people in the chat are telling us to do the audiobook of Ahsoka.
Really?
And, yeah.
Okay.
Well, Ashley does the voice.
Because Ashley Eckstein does the
does she?
voice.
So it's
Okay, I
like
might have to
mad
do that.
official.
And
So,
I
yeah.
found that out
have
the
to do
week after I bought the hardcover. It's like, well, this sucks.
Well, that is definitely what I'm going to do then, because I do have to drive an hour out every day, but most of the time I'm usually listening to music, so I'm not going to, ram into people in traffic.
Oh, I'm with you there.
But yeah, so, I think that'll definitely be next on my list, is definitely so I think I'll just get the audiobook instead of getting the actual book, 'cause that's what I was saving up for.
Yeah, and I know Audible Audible is really good. You can get free audiobooks just by signing up. They're not a sponsor, but we would really like them to be.
Yeah.
So shout out to Audible.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll have a code coming soon. That's blueapron.com/Jedi. But that's going to do it for this episode. I really enjoyed it. I like when we have varying topics from varying worlds. It appeals to the strengths that everybody has, which is why I love doing the show with this team. Y'all wonderful. But until we meet...
Stop it.
But until we meet again, fam, where can the folks find you? What are you up to?
Oh my God. You can find me all over social media at atorres890. I'm on a bunch of shows on our sister network, AfterBuzz TV. I'm doing 8 shows this year. Oh my God. Wow. We just finished up Voltron with Mark, which was awesome. So if you haven't watched that, or if you're getting into it, you should definitely take a listen and a watch to that. Into the Badlands is starting literally next week. Yes. Which is so good. And we have Sense8. If you don't know what that is, it's a Netflix show. It's starting in May. So you could definitely check in on that a little bit later. And I also have some other podcast stuff that might be coming up that's in the works. So definitely keep up with me on social media to see how that's going.
Cool.
Michael Young.
Well, you can check me out at One Youngster, which is ONEYOUNGSTA. Also, I do the Sleepy Hollow after show on Sundays. Yes. That's right. And I do, of course, here, Jedi Alliance. You can always see that.
But
don't forget. Oh yeah, go ahead.
You're gonna be invading all of our.
Oh my God, all of the networks, Michael Young.
Which is great.
So good.
I was trying to hold back.
No, do it.
Check it. From now on, you'll be able to see NerdSoul on Black Hollywood Live. Yes. My show is still. If you're already subscribed to me, nothing's changing. I'm still there. But if you're not on there already and you're already checking out Black Hollywood Live, you can find me there. That's right, Monday through Friday, giving you that daily dosage of dope content, talking movies, comics, anime, all that stuff. So come and check me out.
Definitely check them out and check out both of our sister networks, Black Hollywood Live and AfterBuzz TV. I have a hand in all of the networks here, and we have some great creators. And I'm very excited that Michael is joining our BHL.
I hope I don't mess it up.
No, you'll be fine. You're gonna be fine. Shut up. You'll be fine.
And I'm the internet's Mark B. Donica. You can find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. I'm super excited that I'm going to be going to Celebration this year. That does mean that I'm not going to be doing the show for a couple of weeks because I'm also going to be going to Orlando for WrestleMania as of right now, fingers crossed. So there are going to be a couple weeks without me, but who cares, because y'all fine folks can handle
And
it.
you're going to send us content to
sure, why not?
Put in the show, right?
Why not?
Or just stuff for us in general.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like, ha-ha.
Yeah. Jerk.
But maybe I'll Periscope from the Jedi Alliance account. Maybe I'll do that. So go to Jedi Alliance Pod, follow that. A whole bunch of stuff here on Popcorn Talk. Video Game Movie Anatomy is back tomorrow. We're doing Mass Effect Paragon Lost. And AfterBuzz TV, I do a whole bunch of stuff for them as well. Follow me at Mark B. Donica. Follow the show at Jedi Alliance Pod. Follow the network at the Popcorn Talk, because there's a lot of great shows here that if you don't watch, you should probably start watching. But thank you for joining us on this episode of Jedi Alliance, because many Bothans died to bring us this information.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.